Hello and welcome to The Regulars. I'm Stacey McGonigal.
And I'm Jason DeRoss.
Beautiful, wonderful, elegant, simple, stunning. To the point. Welcome to The Regulars podcast. How are you, Jason?
I think I'm great. How are you doing today?
Honestly, let me just fix my little kerchief here. I think I'm okay. I think I've hit, like, you know how we joke about like emergency weight? Like, I think I've hit it. Like, not to say like I'm gross or like this is wrong. Like, I understand why we're here, but I have indulged in a way where I have hit like emergency weight. It's
We're gonna
emergency.
we're gonna go up and down. It's
We're gonna go up and
I
down.
think it's everybody that I talk to in my life is talks about this roller coaster of emotions that they're going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that Steve Martin monologue, and I think it was Father of the Bride, or was it Parenthood, when he's like he
First of
goes
all,
through this like,
you about to reference Father of the Bride.
yeah.
Incredible. Incredible. Of
I
all the
guess we know what we're
movies,
watching for Monday.
of all the movies that you haven't seen, the cooler ones, you most certainly have seen Father of the Bride, so much so that you're ready to reference. And I'm here for it.
And then I realized I referenced the wrong movie, and I don't know if I've seen Father of the Bride, but I've seen Parenthood, and he references he does that monologue in Parenthood
So what's the monologue in Parenthood?
when he starts talking about life as a roller coaster, and then there's a moment when they kind of show this thing because so many things happen as a parent in this, and I don't remember what all of it was, but things start to get rocky, but they're also like beautiful, and he kind of like
Yeah.
they do angles with the camera where it's like whoa, and they show him like actually try to put his feelings on a roller coaster.
It's a good movie. And Jan agrees that it's such a
Yeah.
good movie. It really is. Um, I also wanted to talk about oh, Shayla's having trouble connecting her headphones, but Amanda says she's having a soft day today. I think it's in the air. I think a soft day is upon us on a Tuesday. This is where they find us most easily. You know, wouldn't
Yeah.
you say?
Well, that's nice that you guys are all going on it together. Once I was on a roller coaster called the Gemini, and what the Gemini is two tracks beside each other, and they race together. So you can wave at people and you can high five as you go around.
Okay, so did you use that? Did you use that to brag about being on a roller coaster?
Oh my God! Except I was on the roller coaster, and this one guy kept going on it and on it. I think he was like a local there or something, but he was an
Okay,
older guy. He looked like a pirate, and he had one arm. And I was like, did he go on this enough that he like lost half his arm on this roller coaster because everyone's high fiving as they go around and stuff like that? Because he had like
cool. You're right. Roller coasters are sick. Wow, that should all be a hobby.
I love roller coasters.
Yeah, you got the vibe. I just
Well, what do you do? What is this? What is this Stacy like at this at a theme park?
oh god.
Like,
Well,
are you just the whole day being like, why are we here? Or is that
no, like I do remember my dad getting like a pamphlet in the mail or whatever for like
Mhm.
Disneyland and like going, hey, like not saying that we were going because we never did. Like that would be a nightmare for the McGonagalls. But like he did like come in and go like, is this something, you guys would want to do? And I was just like, ugh, the lines. Like I just was like,
You broke your dad's heart at that moment because I think he was fine.
no. No, my
Oh, I think
dad,
so.
my no, because my dad loved roller coasters, but then like as we all know, as we're all beautifully aging, you hit a point where you're like, these make me barf, you know?
Okay, but like, I have like a couple years on you and I'm ready to go on a roller
Oh,
coaster.
no, I'm Barf City, USA. I can't, I don't want to brag about it, but like my tummy's gotten so tender. Yeah, no, yeah, like I had a season's pass to Wonderland. I feel like my mic is just really in the shot today and I can't with it, as they
Welcome to
say.
my world.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, like I had one of those seasons passes to Wonderland and I went all the time
Hmm.
with my friends and you know,
Those of you who don't know what Wonderland is, it's basically the theme park that's just
oh, it's
outside of
just like
Toronto.
Darien Lake.
It's amazing. I think it has the biggest. Did they say it's the biggest roller coaster now again? They just built a new one. It's like it's huge.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
Whoa.
they keep getting bigger and bigger. They're like the Behemoth and the Leviathan. There's a new one there now, and I don't know what it
We just got
is.
huge intel from Kendra in the chat. She goes, "My brother-in-law went on Ghoster Rider." I thought she was gonna say Ghoster Coaster, which is a ride at Wonderland, but Ghost Rider in Knott's Berry
Whoa.
Farm when he was 12 and got hit with a stray wooden board, paid for his college with the settlement. Wow. Well, Collie's in the chat going, I
Smart.
know a guy I know was on the swings at Wonderland. It snapped and he smacked to the ground and got a settlement. Wow.
So it's like a lottery, basically.
Yeah, you gonna win? You gonna have a broken leg, but you gonna win? You gonna win?
I'm trying to fly out of that Canadian mine buster, no problem. Land on the ground. Pff, oh God.
I just remember like being on like there was a ride at Wonderland called Top Gun, and I had just gotten, not to brag, but like the top of my like ear pierced, thinking I was pretty cool, um, and I just remember being like ow 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 ow, like it just like ruined my earring, got pretty infected. I just want to like chat this or just put this out there. Someone in the chat is saying that it's like skipping, that we're skipping, but it seems pretty clear on our end. So just let us
Yeah.
know.
I mean, maybe it's just my voice
I
too.
like that Jason has instantly taken blame for that. Well, I want to talk to you
I
because
do. I do think it's funny. I think there would be a funny picture of a young Stacey McGonigal, like in a wheelchair with like one of those neck braces on, but holding like one of those big lottery checks because she's like, I won. But it's like they didn't even give you a big lottery check. You just made it up.
well,
It's like,
Jason,
yeah.
this makes me really sad, and like I don't want to bring it up, but in my final show at Second City, for which I don't think you saw,
I did see it, and I know the scene you're talking about that you didn't get to wear the body cast in the final thing,
no, but
but
it actually was better because I just had like the big neck cast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although
Anyways,
when you say better, I kind of wanted to see the full body cast.
I also wanted to see the full body cast, but then the whole audience got to see my massive camel toe. So I think like there's a win-win there, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. That's also so I did a sketch at Second City where I'm just being an annoying person in the backseat of a car, and then there turns out to be a big car wreck, and then it's my friends that obviously drove themselves into a semi, so I'd stop talking. Very McGonagall, very reality, very that is what you get in a car with me. And I remember one day getting food poisoning, and I think I've talked about it on the pod, but I really thought like adrenaline would take over as it does on stage, and I'd be like, I won't need to puke. And I remember just having to put that neck brace on my throat, and I was like, we're toast. This is Barf City, USA.
Did you puke on stage?
No, I didn't puke on stage, but like I like was basically invisible, like ghost white, like just like gone, and I just laid there. I was just sitting there on my back with the cast, just saying my lines, like not like acting it out. And like the two actors in the scene were like, something's up here. Ran off and I barfed. And then I turned into a child. I was like, I barfed. I barfed. I can't handle it. I'm not like cool with barfing. I barfed.
That's all right.
It's fine. We all worked out. So yesterday, I attended my first social distancing birthday party.
Amazing. How did it go?
Jason keeps having the same ad play, and I don't know what's going on his computer. Can you just turn off your computer, or turn off
Can I
the
turn off my
tab?
computer? Sure.
No, can you turn off the
I'll meet you guys
tab?
in the chat.
No, can you turn off the tab?
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's going to be a long story. I'll fix it. It'll never happen again after this episode.
Great. I honestly look forward to it. I realized that one of my biggest pet peeves is helping people navigate a computer, because I'd rather just do it myself. I can't, like when people are like, I'll do it. Like, you know, that pride of like, can I just help you? And they're like, I'll do it. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to sit here and watch this freaking idiot not know what he's doing on a computer. It makes me instantly upset.
Is this the people at your birthday party, or is this me every day? You're dealing with me every day.
Not you every day, you some days, and friends other days. But I did attend. Oh, Jameson also attended a social distancing birthday party. Maybe we were so separated that we were at the same party and we just didn't know. But it was. I'm wondering how Jameson felt. It was like kind of sad. Like it was so nice. Like in the same way, it was like so nice to see your friends. Like and as you know, Jay, I'm not like the biggest like hugger or like, you
Yeah.
know, I'm more like that, but I'm not like this. You know, I love a hug. I just have evolved, but to this point. But it made me want to like hug and like tenderly embrace everyone.
Yeah. We were talking about this the other day. Like, when this is over, are people just going to run out and be like touching everybody at this point? Like, it's going to
Yeah.
be like,
Oh yeah, me too. Me, absolutely, no question about it. It was like,
like I think the mayor of LA is going to come on and be like, okay, guys, we're going to open up today. And then all of a sudden you're going to hear like doors open and people dashing onto the street, just being like, high fiving people you didn't know,
I honestly
licking
think,
faces.
I think it'll be more intimate than that. I think it'll be like slow walks together. And yeah, exactly. Jan says I'm gonna hold hands so hard. Exactly, like holding hands, just like fully
Oh,
embracing
really,
and
really
holding.
dirty dancing. Yeah.
I'm really glad we watched it over the weekend, guys, because that is my personal vibe. I won't put it on you, but I think it might be the vibe moving forward. Because watching all my pals and then, it
It's
was.
Dirty Dancing meets the Top Gun song. Take my breath away. That song we playing the whole
Can you
time.
sing as much of that song as you know?
I just did. Early in the night, the foolish lover's game.
Keep going.
Take my breath away.
That's amazing.
Uh,
I just wanted to give you a second to
I
figure it
can't
out.
remember anymore.
Kayla just said, I just got here, and the first thing I hear is Jason singing. Welcome. Welcome, Kayla. This is what we provide. That's so there's nothing funnier. Like I can't remember what comedy show it was.
I just got disinvited to a post-quarantine karaoke.
Oh no. I've been hearing
You're
that.
missing out on my song, though. My song, I can sing my
What's your
song.
song?
I don't think I want to say it now because I'm going to get to a karaoke the second this is over. I'm going to run on the street. I'm going to high five a bunch of people. I'm going to
Okay.
lick a face, and then I'm going to run right to a karaoke.
You know,
Karaoke.
y'all, you know what I did last night? I went to a gray karaoke. Y'all, we were singing. I won't even tell you what song.
Vodkas were going around like they were waters.
Oh, y'all, we were having a vodka soda. We were having. Yeah, that's my new accent. I was having a tonicer with a bit of lime with a garnish. Y'all, you ever done a karaoke? You got to do a karaoke, y'all. I honestly, and I'm not even joking, wish I sounded like that. I would be so successful.
I think you would fit in just fine.
Me too. Y'all,
If we
what's
had
going
to
on?
be like undercover police officers or detectives and we had to go into a bar like that, you'd be fine and you would turn me in a heartbeat because I would be blown cover.
Oh, because I would make lifelong friends instantly at that bar. Y'all, I do this thing on the internet where I'm a talk on a mic with my friend, and we got this bikini girl, hot pink. She great. I love her.
I'm on there too.
Oh, God. He's not with me. All right, he's a cop. He's an oink oink. Okay, we got a pork rind over here. Tiniest little pork rind you ever did see.
You could just come check on me once every like Tuesday. Go in the back, and I'll be like all bloody and like have a gag on and like tied up to a chair.
You think
They
that
just got me in the
bar
back.
is gonna just slowly torture you for all time?
Yeah, this type of bar that we went in to bust for sure. What do you think we're busting them for?
I don't know, just being too cool for school.
You think cops are just gonna go and be like, guys, I heard that they're actually not sticking to the rules of Taco Tuesday. You gotta
Yeah.
send in Jason and Stacy.
I've seen cops come in for less. Just see a bored cop and they're like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "Just crossing the street." Okay. Make sure you do it at the crosswalk. Well, I'm at a crosswalk, so.
That's the nickname of our band, Bored Cop.
Bored cops. Hey, we can still party too. Mahalo. Okay. But what is your karaoke song?
It's by the Foundations, and it's called "Build Me Up, Buttercup."
Build me up, Buttercup. Okay, can we have a bit?
You want to get the party started? You
Yeah.
sing some "Build Me Up, Buttercup."
Okay, first of all, Shayla has just started a new term, which is maholler.
Mahaller.
Hey, y'all, maholler. I got those pooker shells. So I got my pooker shells. I got
Welcome to the first Jack Astors in Texas.
maholler, y'all. Okay, so can you please sing a bit of Build Me
No,
Up
no, no, no,
Buttercup?
no, no. You
Build me
need the
up
music. You need the night.
Buttercup.
Okay.
What?
Wow, dude. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to get out there.
Jason, I know how you in my mind, knowing you, I can see you like dancing like and like being
Oh,
like really
dancing. I'm around the entire floor, and by the end, everybody is up, hands clapping, and we're all singing together in my mind. I'm
yeah,
sure I'm
in your
really
mind.
drunk, and I'm just walking around the bar and being like, yeah.
Hey, you better dance or I'm going off the Scarborough Bluffs.
Because in my mind, you already dancing.
Jan just said those two notes just made her day when you went, "What?" Because that surprised me. Like, you love that song.
It's just, I picked it. The reason is this: if you're at a karaoke bar and you get up and you sing a song that you love,
Yeah.
but it's like a passionate, slow song, you're bringing the party down. I
No,
don't care how
when people
beautiful your
do
voice
that,
is,
yeah,
unless it's
exactly.
like ultra beautiful. Then you're
No,
like, oh wow, that person can sing, and you sit there stunned.
I don't have
But
time
if you
for
can't
that.
like murder it, you're bringing the party. You just got to get up there and sing a song that's going to be like, everybody having a good time? I'm having a good time. Hell yeah. Let's go.
A couple things I will say. There's nothing scarier for me than doing karaoke, but I love watching karaoke. Like literally for my birthday this year, I had a karaoke. I went to a dive bar that had karaoke, and I just was like, all my pals were singing, and I was like, this is great for me because I love going whoa. Like I'm full karaoke. You know, I really get into it, but I don't want to
Yeah.
sing it. But I feel
Well,
like
when
the
I started to go, I was in college and I had my roommates were all, I stayed in an ESL dorm. ESL is English for as a second language.
yeah.
So like my roommate I had three roommates. I had a Korean roommate, a Japanese roommate, and a Chinese roommate. And I ended up becoming like really close friends with my Japanese
Isn't
roommate.
this
And
because
like
of
we
a
would go
mix
out.
up? Because you were
What's
supposed.
that?
Isn't this because you ended up in the
That's my other song. Tasha and me have the same. That's my favorite song of all time.
99 red balloons?
You can't beat it.
Well,
Maybe 99 Love Balloons. I think I stick to the original, but still, like, yeah,
are you just
I'm
singing
gonna
it in
sing
your
that
head?
too, Tash, and I'm gonna dedicate it to you. But I started singing with my friend Yoshi, and
We love Yoshi.
he's the best. But they would take us to the bars in like the middle of Alberta,
Yeah.
and we would sing. He would sing Japanese songs, but then I really started getting into Japanese songs.
Mm-hmm.
And look, this was not. This is gonna sound terrible, but like they would get me up to sing Japanese songs,
Yeah.
which
They were
for
your
sure would not
friends.
hold over like in with Japanese words. So I was up there being like, because they always have like a couple English words. So you're just like train, someone you can look like it, and then you'd say that, but everybody would be like, because I was there with a bunch of ESL students, and they were just like, yay, this is the best.
Yeah, you weren't
But
going
then
up
I
and
started
making
literally
fun.
listening and looking up Japanese artists, and I was listening to so much Japanese stuff
Of
in
course.
college.
What's wrong with that?
It was beautiful, but I don't think I'm going to get up into a bar right now with everybody that I don't know and start trying to say Japanese words into a
No, and
microphone.
and no one's asked you to do that, and no one has put that on the table. No
I
one.
just
No,
did. You know what? I just like to
yeah.
bury myself. I like to dig my own graves.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've seen that, and we're going. Hey, you're still alive. Stop digging. You know, and you're like, nah. I think we can go a
Just
little
getting ready
deeper.
for the future, guys. Whew.
Too much. I can't. Oh, sorry. I wasn't
He
paying
also
attention.
took me to when I went to visit him in Japan, and we went out with his friends to an actual karaoke bar, which at the
Mm-hmm.
time, like all I knew of karaoke was going to dive bars and singing in front of people. But then we got there, I was like, "This is gonna be great." And then they open up a door, and you're in like your solo room,
Yeah.
and what they do is they just kind of like pass the mic very like casually, and you sing as you sit down, like nobody gets up. Because then I stood up, and everyone was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what's
Oh,
happening here?" But by the end, we're all dancing, and I just want to say I brought dancing karaoke to Japan, so that's where we ended up.
that's pretty sick. I'm proud of you.
Apparently, I'm doing a lot of shoulder shimmying today, which I didn't
You
realize.
actually are doing. Sorry, I'm really moving around here. You are really doing a lot of shoulder shimmying that, like, I'm into. I'm not even gonna make fun of it. It's just like Jason's shoulder shimmying is like when he's had like a good meal, or he really likes the food that we're having, or it's just like this pure joy that I
If I
can't
start
take
talking
away.
about Days of Yosh, that's the best.
Days of Yosh, we love you, Yoshi, wherever you are.
Days of Yesterday. I'm gonna call him.
Yeah, let's call him now. Haley says, "You know who your real friends are when the whole party leaves you at a karaoke bar and it's a toga party. So I'm the only one in a toga at the bar. That just sounds fun."
Yeah, but then who are your real friends? The real friends are the ones that stay in a toga with you.
What do you mean?
You know who your real friends are when the whole party leaves you at a karaoke bar and it's a toga party. So I'm the only
Oh,
one in a
sorry.
toga
I
at the bar.
misread that in my brain. I thought
But
it
is
was a
that her
toga.
friends leaving her there, and then you're like, well, they're not my real friends?
Well, maybe she
Is
was
that
like, maybe I don't know. We'll need Haley. Please unpack this for us. But Julie says there's a lot of missed soundboard opportunities happening. I agree. We weren't. I wasn't prepared. I do have some new soundboard sounds, but I just haven't put them in the board. And I didn't know we would talk. Be talking about karaoke. So we still got.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol at Big Cat Rescue.
I know we need to update, but I don't want to say goodbye to her.
Tell me this: do you think is Tiger King dead? Like the fad's done?
Yes,
Right?
gone.
Thank goodness.
Gone. This was the thing. Like, people were like, "Oh, this would only happen in quarantine." I'm like, this would just happen anywhere. It was just a pop culture
Yeah,
phenomenon.
it was like The Circle, and then it happened and it was gone, and now nobody talks about The Circle.
No one cares about The Circle, and it's like the new show Too Hot to Handle, and that is trash. I'd be curious if people are watching it because I know everyone's kind of talking about it, but I really didn't like it, nor could I get into it. It was like so trashy, and like I didn't care.
I watched like the trailer of it, and then I was like, I'm not gonna just. But I think you were wrong. You were like, there weren't very good looking people, but it's like it's definitely good looking people to a point. But I also see what you're saying. Like,
no, I said the women were
British guy they kept
babes.
showing. I was the British guy that they kept showing seems to be like one of the main people. I was like, well, that guy's not. If I saw that guy at a bar, I would be like, oh, ooh, that guy's a hot guy.
Right, and here's the thing, like, and Kayla just said this in the chat, and I completely agree. She's like, I love trash TV, and I do too. I love the trashiest TV,
Yeah.
and it was just like no one really cared. The guys for me wasn't into them, and the girls were just like, I love Instagram. Like there was just nothing. There wasn't like a girl who was like, hey y'all, we doing karaoke? Like I needed like an energy like that in the show for me to be like that girl.
Yeah, it's a careful what you wish for scenario because it's like, oh, you want to take like the trash out of trash TV.
Yeah.
But the second they were like, oh, none of you can kiss or whatever, everyone's like, well, then this is
Jason.
just going to be a bunch of horned up idiots.
I also have, I'm going to put my glasses on. Sometimes they're really dirty, and this may or may not happen. If you're listening to the podcast, sometimes I decide to put my glasses on halfway through the podcast. These are filthy. I have some news for you that, like, I don't even know if you're ready. Like, I don't even know.
I don't know this news yet.
No, I didn't even share it with you. I like made a point to just like not share it with you, but it was again sent to us on our DMs on our podcast, which I love and cherish. I'm just going to pull it up and I'm just going to show it to the camera. And I will be curious how you sit on it. So this is all I'm saying. And this was sent by our lovely and dear friend, Jenny Cirillo, who we love and cherish on this pod. And she just sent me a post that is a must.
Oh, you don't think I already know this? And how I did not bring this up to you?
Hold on. Can we see it? Yeah. So it is a double shot at love season 2.
I almost called you last night because of this, but I was like, we're not going to watch this.
We can't watch it. So, I mean.
But do you know who's on it?
No.
I'll tell you who's on it. It's not just Polly and Vinny. Darren. Be nice.
Be nice.
All the girls. What was her name?
Be Lashes.
Be Lashes is on it. It's a bunch of the girls, and they're basically like it's their exes, so they're calling it like the X party, and they're going to be at a pool party in Vegas, and a bunch of these girls from the first season are going to be on it with them.
And they're all trying to find different love.
I have no idea. That's all I know so far. Because I'm like, how do you include that? Because they're not going to want them anymore. So is it really double share love? Because some people were saying it's just them hosting a Vegas pool party, and that's the goal.
Oh, listen,
not to hook up.
That show is going to be utter and full trash, and I might be like sorry, I'm moving around a lot today. I might be personally there for it and watch a bit of it, but we can't recap it. I mean, we're only going to get upset.
Yeah.
You know what we can do? If we're watching it, we can like save like maybe 5 to 10 minutes once a week.
It's like, it's not like I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, we're watching it. Like, I mean, listen, we're watching it and I'm just like, but we can't dedicate a full hour episode like we used to. Because literally before we would record, we'd be like, I can't believe we got to cover this thing. And I'm like, we made the rules.
My notes were so long and I was like, and they were all just like, I hate this show. I hate the show.
Now, I have to address something that's happening in the chat, and this is what I want to like put out there as well. So, like, Elizabeth has said, I'm late to the chat. Did we address the Cavallari divorce? Kristen Cavallari and her husband, Jay Cutler, have divorced. Do you know these people, Jay?
I know who Jay Cutler is, but...
Perfect.
So, I didn't know that they divorced. I didn't know he was married, so that's how much I know.
Well, here's the thing. So I have been thinking about potentially doing like a once a week, maybe like on a Friday, doing like a pop culture recap, like, and maybe
I think we need to bring that pop culture back because he used to give out a lot of great news on pop culture. We kind of killed it because there wasn't a lot happening because of everyone's inside.
Okay, so I'll dip a toe a little bit, and then potentially maybe on my channel, maybe on like a Friday night, if you want to join me, we'll do like a pop culture rundown. Yeah. So we'll get into that because I know that Jay, like you like pop culture, but you're like, it's like The Last Dance for you. Like you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting, but like you're not in the nitty grits like I am.
I think it's the opposite of The Last Dance. The Last Dance, I am like, is my life right now.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You know everything about Michael Jordan, and I'm going, oh, isn't that entertaining? But you're like,
so you're saying yes, it's the opposite.
And you're like, girl, you don't even know. And for pop culture, I'm like, girl, you don't even know. So
have you watched episodes 3 and 4?
No,
I guess you didn't because you were at a party last night.
I'm doing that today. Okay, so
because guys, Nigel Downer is on tomorrow. We are going to be talking about The Last Dance.
So I may do, okay, so everyone in the chat is loving this. So I may do, and Jay, I'm absolutely inviting you, maybe like a Friday evening, maybe a later, like a Friday night, maybe a Saturday recap pop culture chat about the week. Jay, come in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm on the fly. I've had a coffee. These are my ideas.
Maybe you'll find me in the chat.
Okay, people are into it. Okay, so you can find me in the chat. Oh my God. Love. Okay, so
I loved that kind of stuff though too, because like it was like I knew the people, like for instance in this story, I'm like, I know who Jay Cutler is. I didn't know about the wedding or whatever. So there's a bit of like instruction to it.
Yeah.
But there's also like, I can maybe give an interesting perspective to it as well because I'm not reading the articles of it.
I say let's unpack because it's a huge story and it's filled with espionage.
Flying dirty.
Certainly.
What?
So Kristen Cavallari, who's like so hot and stunning, was married to Jay Cutler for 10 years or they were together 10 years. And, they just got divorced. Now, their show, very Cavallari, I would say the first season.
I didn't know there was a show.
Of course you didn't. Welcome to the group.
Well, so who is she then? Because
Great.
Obviously, the show's not about Jay Cutler.
Great first question. She's from Laguna Beach, then the Hills. So she was like the villain on the Hills.
Okay.
Then she got with Jay Cutler, who is a football player. Okay. Yep. Then they got a reality show, which I'm telling you, when you get a reality show, you're doomed. They're doomed. First season was great. I loved it. I thought they had a really cool, like relatable relationship. The first season was great. Second season was whatever. Then news came about, and this is where it gets juicy, that her best friend who was on the show and Jay had an affair. Okay?
Oh.
Are you even listening to me?
I am.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Perfect. So Jay was like, and Leslie says this in the chat, and I agree. Jay was like so funny on the show, like really like gave it like some like juice that we were all needing. We were all like, dehydrated. He quenched it. So he was great on the show. But then apparently, her best friend and Jay, there was rumors circulating that they had an affair, and then she was mad that her best friend, didn't like fully
tell her.
No, didn't fully squash the rumors. It didn't really make sense. Like in my mind, watching the show, I'm like, oh, they did have an affair. Kristen doesn't want to say that because they want to keep this season still going. So she's not friends. This is allegedly, like, I mean, the shirt couldn't have been perfectly worn.
Right.
Because allegedly. But my thought of like, was like, oh, they did have an affair or something questionable went down. 'Tis why the rumor was released. And then she was like, oh, well, she didn't defend me enough. And she's still talking to Jay publicly. And then so she became not her friend. And then literally 2 months later.
Who's this friend?
Her name's Kelly.
So this is one of those things that, like, because you talk about couples getting crushed once they get on TV, it's because like they need conflict, right? So it could even be created. They could have called this Kelly girl and be like, don't say anything to the media. But then you as your friend, you're like, why aren't you defending this? She's like, I don't know what to do right now. They told me not to talk to you. They told me not to talk to the media.
So Kelly, for those asking, I believe, and allegedly, I don't know this for sure, but she has like a beauty podcast and something else and a blog. I think she's like a makeup artist, stylist, like vague, like I'm a beauty
Elizabeth
person.
says she's a hairdresser in Los Angeles.
I think she's like a beauty person, if that makes sense. Like she has a blog about, here's how to do beach waves. Here's a great skincare regime. Like, I don't know what she is, but she's something like that. And yeah, it's worth reading into because what's just happened is Kristen Cavallari has filed divorce and like, irreconcilable
differences.
We both botched that. That's both going on our shirts.
Differences.
And but then also she also claimed inappropriate actions during the marriage. So Jay,
Elizabeth also said that she was kind of using Kristen being like, she was only around like.
I mean, I agree, but I'm also like, if you have a reality show and your friends are the cast, everyone's using everybody. You're causing fake drama. You're making storylines. Like it's all like, and she's, Kristen was on Laguna Beach and The Hills, which was completely fake. So I can't question someone's morals on that, but.
The Hills was shot right here at my place. I found that out after. I was like, oh, okay, great.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, I will like, obviously Kelly was, but like their scenes seemed so set up, like them eating like calamari at a bar and Kristen's like, we should get you a boyfriend. I'm like, oh my God, who pitched this storyline? But anyways, it turns out that they hooked up allegedly. And so now they're divorced. She has 3 kids. Yippee. Yeah. So anyways, I mean, there's so much to unpack here. What do you think about it, Jay?
But I'm also like, this guy's a football player, and I don't want to put anything onto anybody at any point.
Retired football player.
Retired football player. Is he retired?
Yeah. At least he was in the season I was watching.
Okay.
Now, I will say this. I knew that it was going awry, and I'm wondering for those who watched Very Cavallari in the chat.
Nigel, are you on? Because you'll know everything about Jake.
Oh, yeah, Nigel, let us know. Maybe Jameson. Jameson has all the facts as well.
Yeah, because I didn't think he was still playing on Chicago like last year.
No, because on the show he's retired and she's annoyed.
He's retired. Okay.
Yeah, he's retired, and then they have a farm in Nashville. But I knew things might be going awry because he was growing his hair out. First, he had a good haircut, and then all of a sudden it became kind of long and styled. And that's when I realized someone is loving the TV.
Yeah, Jameson knows nothing about calamari, and that's the first word that came to my mind too. So yeah.
Honestly, I love calamari. It's something I've found later in life, and I'm here for it. I want it deep fried, though. Don't come at me and saying you haven't had it grilled properly. I don't care. Anyways, yeah, huge.
Nigel has checkmarked it. He was retired. But I was like, what I was getting at is this, and I don't want to put things on anybody, but like, whenever I hear these things about like athletes being like Oh no!
First
They
of
cheat on his
all,
wife. I'm like,
you just said athletes, and I'm here for
I
it.
said athletes for sure.
You said
I think
athletes.
every morning before I get on this podcast, I like stuff olives in my mouth or something. Like I don't know
No,
what's happening.
I think you're like headphones, remove tongue, have a sip of water, begin.
Oh, I forgot to put my tongue back in. Fuck.
Fine. Okay, go on. What were you saying? What were you saying about the
Uh,
athletes?
well, just because like when you find out that they're cheating, not that like every athlete's going to cheat or whatever, but then you hear these stories
Yeah.
about. I know in the NBA that they literally at one of the stadiums they have a section for like mistresses, and I'm like, what? Well, then this is crazy. Like, you hear about all these stories, and I don't want to put that on every athlete because I'm sure there's very people that are in their monogamous relationships, and that's great. But like, I'm also not surprised when I hear those stories. You're just like, oh yeah, but they travel city to city. They're young, they're millionaires, and some of them are still like young enough to be like, I don't know what the hell's going on in my life. Like, I don't know.
Well,
it's the same thing when they catch them. Like,
yeah, but can I just say this? It costs them nothing to go, hey, I'm interested in you. However, I don't want a commitment because I'm bouncing around from city to city. Now, if you choose to still engage
100%.
with me, amazing. I don't want anything serious, and I won't consider this like an attached relationship because I'm traveling.
I'm not saying they're right, and I'm not saying maybe they even have those conversations. What I'm saying is, I'm just never surprised when I hear these stories on the news. I'm always like, oh, okay, well, okay.
Well, the thing is, he wasn't traveling. He cheated on her, allegedly, with her best friend. Allegedly. So that has nothing to do with that. Also, like, I can't and I shan't. No. I would say like 90% allegedly, 90% of athletes cheat.
But that's alleged, yeah.
And the 10% are the refs. The successful 10% are the goddamn refs. Name Glenn going home to his wife, going, no one respects me.
They're just not married. They're just like, they sit at the bar being like, oh, this is so great.
Go back to the bar. Oh my God, please. They go back to their carpeted apartment.
And I also disagree. I feel like there's a whole like culture now of like, I mean, I follow the NBA, so I love basketball players, but it seems like there's this whole culture now of like, these guys that put out this image, their image at least is like the tough guys in the NBA are all like, we're religious, we're into our body, we're like, they're family men, they're like, sure. I'm like, this is great. This is
family
great
men.
For like,
yeah, right. Give me a break.
Well, even if they're not, which I think they might be for real, I'm glad they're putting out that image because at least like,
oh, good, because when they cheat,
people that kids are looking up to. So I'm
sure,
like, great.
And then when they cheat behind the scenes, no one's the wiser.
And yeah, but I feel like they're doing it. Well, who knows?
No, Jason, this is not. We do not need. Okay, we do not need you on adulterous athletes throwing any type of optimism. It's proven time and time again.
I don't say anything.
No, you can say things. I know you just hope people are better than what they probably are.
I don't even mean that. I mean, like, there's guys out there now that, like, I'm like, they literally focus on their family. It seems like. You're like,
who?
Oh, okay,
when are they around?
Do you want me to go through names?
No.
Chris Paul, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade.
LeBron James, Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't he get with Gabrielle Union while his ex was pregnant? Didn't he cheat on Gabrielle Union and she decided to stay with him and then she was with him while another woman was pregnant?
I don't know their lives.
Yeah, I do. Don't even come at me with this information. I once watched this show in Canada about like, I think it was called Hockey Wives, honestly. And it was about people.
Trophy Wives.
No, that's a terrible name. I hope it wasn't called that.
I think it was called Trophy Wives. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Never mind.
That would be a terrible. Anyways, if you know it in the chat, what is it called? It was like a hockey. Anyways, it was about all these hockey players and their families, their wives or whatever. And it was fascinating because they are never around. What are you looking at?
I'm looking up the TV show you're talking about.
Ah, cool. I think Jameson just said I slam dunked you. I hope so.
What? I got slam dunked. Hockey Wives. It
you
was called
cool
Hockey
cats and
Wives. There was, and she said there is a show called Hockey Wives. Jan.
Oh,
Thank you.
cool. So it was Hockey Wives. And they were just never around. And it was just these women just being like, Daddy's home. And they were like, hey, what's up? I got to go practice. And the kids were like, Dad. They would just leave. I was like, God, this is dark. Or like one of the like players got hurt and he was like stuck at home and he just was like, this stinks. I was like, you're getting paid. And also maybe just like say hi to your kids.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm making Jason sad. Elizabeth just says that's so Canadian. A lot of them were Americans stuck in Canada, which was, that makes me laugh.
The hockey players?
Yeah.
No,
Also, just hockey.
Canadian.
I was in a commercial with a hockey player.
So was Nigel. You guys have both done a.
Yeah, Nigel and I, we were in different spots. I think Nigel's was a year before.
Different spots.
Yeah.
Nigel gave pounds to good old Sidney Crosby, if I remember correctly.
Sidney Crosby's so cute. The hockey player version of Andy Samberg. I'm here for it. Yeah. Anyways, I was just like, with the hockey player, everyone was like, oh my God. I was just like, dude, what's up, player?
What hockey player were you in with?
Oh my God. He's
this
young.
Is why everyone's like, oh my God, it's Wayne Gretzky. And you're like, what? You only know Wayne Gretzky because of the bar.
No, I know Wayne Gretzky because, I've heard his bio from the Second City bathroom forever.
That's what I mean, in his bar.
No, I know who Wayne Gretzky is. I'm not one of those people who are like, people make fun of sports. Like, I played sports all through high school. I was like, I played volleyball and I was on the badminton team. I played soccer. I played, I didn't like baseball because you always get hurt. It's right near your face. I did track and field.
Baseball's the sport you get injured in?
No, I didn't. I played basketball, track and field. Like, I love sports. So when people are like, sport, point, I'm like, come on. Oh, Jameson just said I undunked myself. No, he's like a really young, Nigel, you know his name. He's a really young hockey player. He's so like.
Connor McDavid.
No.
I'm just going to guess hockey players now when you said young names.
Okay. No.
That's the only two I know.
Okay, well, Nigel can help me because he knows. But anyways, I follow it. I love sports. Baseball, beer, nachos in the hat.
Beer sport, yeah.
Oh my God. Well, why do we really like sports? Like we get to indulge while we watch them.
Well, I agree to a point. The reason why we love sports is one, like when you play a sport, you're obviously like you're right into it because you can notice all the nuances of what's going on too, like on the court or like I like snowboarding so much growing up and like so you'd watch that and be like, holy crap, like what they're doing is amazing. But but also like the reason why these documentaries like The Last Dance, which we'll talk about tomorrow, is because the drama of the people involved is still great, and just to have the conversations. I hate the GOAT conversations, but
greatest of all time.
They happen all the time.
Well, I want to say this because the thing about sports, which like really works for me, and then I found comedy and I was like, oh, I get to like, Elizabeth says you like going for the food and drinks. Of course. It's an event, baby. But
it's too expensive. The beer's too expensive.
Who cares? You're having a time. What?
Yeah.
I hate those.
You're right.
I hate those people when you go to like you pay to go to a sport and they're like, oh my God, the drinks are so expensive. It's like, Linda, what'd you think you were coming to? Go home. This is the thing.
You can still complain when you go to something that you're expecting. Sure.
You complain to your partner quickly and like fast near the bathrooms. Don't come near me with like, well, this is really expensive. Can you just go home? I hate that. It's like when you go to
like there's popcorn and fucking drinks like more than the movie.
When you like, it's like when you go to a fancy restaurant, like you have to know that's what you're gonna pay. You know that's what you're gonna pay. And what I don't need is someone going, oh my God, it seems a little overpriced. It's like, shut up, Michelle. Just eat the damn steak. Mm-hmm. But the reason that I love sports so much, and playing it too, because it's just like people, like you get instant validation. You get a point. You get the thing.
Yeah,
you get
you can all cheer together.
Yeah. So it's like you're working together for a gold star. And like,
you're right, because like the Olympics, I don't know the people in it until it comes up, but you're still like, the Olympics are really fun when you can cheer for a country, because it's like playing the board game Pandemic, because you're all on the same team, so you're all cheering for the same thing.
Well, we're not playing that board game, we're living it. So I can say
and we're all cheering for the same thing. We're all cheering to be able to go outside and lick each other's faces and like touch toes.
And Jan says, I watch basketball for the friendships. I like seeing players help each other out. It's true. It's like at the base level, however you feel about people, like
Jen, I want you to watch the Bad Boys documentary about the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah. I haven't watched that, but I can only imagine. But like, it's just like, it's nice. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they have big butts and then they punch each other and you're like, ooh, wowie, wowie. Anyways.
Watch some UFC, Jen, because like, I'll tell you.
No, don't watch UFC. You with your punch, kick. I can't even deal with it.
I'm not a huge fan anymore. I was. I liked watching it, but like it was one of my guilty pleasures. But afterwards, like people would have these dumb rivalries because I think it was built up for media all the time. But then after, like guys hug it out because they're like, there's something about, you were talking yesterday about how girls will handle things differently, like in high school or whatever. Like when it comes to Dirty Dancing, it's like, this is what we kind of want. This is what guys are just like talking about, grabbing themselves and playing with their boners.
Ew. Yeah. Also, can I just say, Elizabeth just said in the chat, which I'm like so here for. She goes, uh-oh, here comes boned up Stacy. That's so funny.
Whenever Stacy walks down the street, that Stayin' Alive song starts playing, and it's like, here comes boned up Stacy.
But it's just me, like, it's just me pinching butts going, oh, ooh, ooh. What are you gonna do? Call HR?
Grabs a butt, does a twirl, and then shoots you with her finger guns.
Oh yeah, I can't wait till I'm 70 or 80 and I'm like, come here. And you're like, well, she's feisty. You know, and like older women, they're like, yeah, let me get a taste of that. They're like, oh my God, she's adorable. And I'm like, eh.
And then there's the one guy that she's constantly hitting on, just crying. He's like, but that's the salt. Come on, Dave.
No, come on. I can't even drive anymore.
They took my license. Oh, cute butt.
Okay, I figured out who it was. So it was Austin Matthews.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Very young. And let me tell you, it's crazy to meet someone who's so young and like so rich. Like rich. What? This guy's so rich and young that he probably doesn't even know what to do with it. Like he obviously has like a financial.
That's the whole thing. They're like, so what did you invest in? My water slide.
Totally.
Into my bedroom, into my pool.
I bought
That's pretty cool.
Bought this like sick swimsuit. I didn't even look at the price. Is that Billabong? I got my dad some shirts at Tommy Bahamas. Yeah.
It's crazy though, these athletes that are like, I was saying this before about the NBA used to get mad at people for like smoking marijuana. And I'm like, you gave a 19-year-old $3 million at that time. And we're like, don't go buy marijuana. Like,
well, that's the thing too. And again, we're going to talk about sports tomorrow too, but it makes me laugh when like Michael Phelps, they're like, Michael Phelps gets like caught smoking weed. I'm like, doesn't that make you slower? Like if I had to be in a pool and high, there better be a freaking.
Let's talk about Ross Ribliotti. Yeah, no problem.
Let's talk about Ross Ribliotti. I've been waiting. We hit it.
We're finally here, guys.
Oh, yeah, killing it.
Ross Ribliotti. If you thought you were coming to the regulars to talk about life and love and pop culture, hell no, girl. We talking about Ross Ribliotti.
Oh, yeah, killing it.
And for those of you who don't know who he is, which is fill in the blank, everybody in this chat probably.
And me too.
Do you know who Ross Ribliotti is?
Hell no. Who's Ross Ribliotti? Don't you laugh at me, someone who references every movie they've never seen. I don't even think
I'm not laughing at you. I laughed up because I thought that it was at least like a touch point in Canadian history that people knew the name Ross Ribliotti.
Don't you dare say it's a touch point in Canadian history. Go to prison.
He's the guy that was in Japan during, thank you, Bob Hunt, snowboarder in Japan who got like busted. They're like, they found weed and then they're like, they held him there because they're like, we're going to put this guy in jail, and they took the medal from him. Jan knew it too.
Audrey says, yeah, Jameson, mahalo. I can picture Ross.
With the famous Roots hat.
I will ask everyone in the chat, just at home, just to go Ross Ribliotti. It's actually pretty fun to say.
Let's get Ross Ribliotti trending for sure today.
Hi, y'all. I went to karaoke with my big friend, Ross Ribliotter. Oh, my gosh. He smokes weed. The ganj. The flower. The puff puff pass. The big old log stick with a bunch of green.
I do want to see that woman working at like a dispensary.
What do y'all want? We got the rainforest. We got the munchy munch. We got we got a rose bush.
Rose bush.
We got coniferous, the evergreen, the pine. We got the celery. That's just celery if you want a snack. No, it's so crazy to me when athletes get caught with weed. I'm like, first of all, the fact that they're excelling on it, they should get another gold medal. How impossible.
That's the whole thing. They stripped him of his medal because I was like, but it's not a performance. The big term at the time was performance enhancing drug. And you're like,
yeah,
this
right.
doesn't enhance anybody's performance.
No, it just makes the show Nailed It seem way funnier. Give me a break.
What is the show Nailed It?
Oh my God, Jason. You don't watch that show?
I don't know it.
Okay, Jason. I'm not saying you have a little, puff, puff, pass or whatever you want to do, but it's a show on Netflix where they basically take like insane, like Pinterest level baking, like cakes, cookies, like whatever, like elaborate. And then these home bakers, the home bakers have to try and emulate it perfectly. It's so funny. And then they create it, and then there's like a cover, and when they reveal it to the judge, they have to go, nailed it. And then you see what they've done.
That's the perfect joke every time when you have to say it confidently and you know that you've just got a mashed up muffin.
One guy, I was watching it 2 days ago, and one guy just went, I nailed it. And it was brutal.
Nailed it. It just starts leaking all over the floor.
One, they had to make a shark, like a Moby Dick style cake with like a huge shark. And one woman just had a block with teeth on it.
It's just a block of tofu with candy corn put on the side.
Hold on,
Nailed it.
I'm just crying. Let me see if I can find it. We're right near the end of the pot. Nailed it.
Well, when you say that too, like, so, and Sean, I just put, we took some edibles at a water park and went down a toilet bowl slide. Never again. When you say never again, I'd say try it one more time.
Yeah, try it one more time. Okay, I'm gonna put up.
Those toilet bowl slides are the best. I know exactly what you're talking about. You've described it perfectly when you say toilet bowl slide.
I think my okay, well, I don't know if I can find it or send it, but anyways,
I don't know, nailed it, but what I did watch the other day was, have you seen I think it's cooked with cannabis?
Oh yes, I have seen that. So are they eating foods that have weed in it?
Yeah, but they literally cook it, so they're like, oh, now that it's legal, they're showing like ways to bake it and like interesting. They get in these guys that are like, they've been chefs for a long time that use that as a product in all their cooking. And they show you how to make all these awesome dishes. But then they're like, we're bringing out all these celebrities to try it. And in the first episode, I was like, I don't know any of these people until they go, and Ricky Lake. And I was like, okay, Ricky Lake.
Maholler.
But she was into it. She was like, hell yes. Like Ricky Lake was all over it.
I will say, yeah, I'm not like huge on the cooking shows so much on Netflix, but Nailed It just makes me laugh. Like, it's going to be bad. So you can just sit there and go, this woman's an idiot. Like, you just know it's going to be brutal.
It's the most basics of comedy though, too. Like just the complete clash of like,
basic.
Yeah, it's great just to be like the very opposite of what you've actually nailed is perfect.
Like one of the things is they were like, hey, like surprise us with the cake flavor. And one woman just made a mint cake.
I do know the one that Jameson's talking about, the SNL sketch, and they do that sometimes too, the Nailed It sketch on that. So I guess that's where it comes from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like my computer has frozen. Are people like finding it something weird in the chat? Can people just let me know?
So far the chat's doing
okay, cool. So it's just on my end
for me.
Yeah. Well,
do you want to do any dumb stories before we end the day then?
Do you have any?
I got a bunch.
Sweet.
They were the things that kept popping up with ads, obviously, which I've now taken care of.
Okay, well, we have time for like maybe one.
Yeah, but there was one that I really, as soon as I saw it today, because I've got like a back. Anyways, this one speaks to you and I in a very awesome way.
Okay, so do you want to do one dumb story?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
I'll just read the headline because I don't need to read the rest. An Oregon man drove to 11 different Wendy's restaurants twice in one day to stock up on free nuggets. And I was like,
More.
Well,
Excuse me.
and it's got a picture of this guy on his Instagram. And you know how like this guy's like sitting in his car and he's given like the most like gangster face in the world. And he's like, and he's holding on to baskets of nuggets that he's got in his front seat with him. He's just like,
more of these.
There was a promotion where Wendy's recently announced it would give away free chicken nuggets on a certain day to help out communities during the coronavirus.
Okay.
And this guy got in his car. You can see with the trek that he took all around, like north of Portland, south of Portland. He went to like, he went all over the place twice in one day. And his Instagram post reads, "Times is tough. So when I heard Wendy's was giving out free 4-piece nugs, today I knew I had to hustle. I hit every damn Wendy's twice within 17 miles across 2 states. It took 5 hours, but now we eating for a week. What it do?"
What it do? That's amazing.
This guy's my spirit animal.
Yeah, he's all of ours. That's nice. What it do, certainly. Yeah, I had some nuggets recently and like, I get it. Can I tell you this before we end?
When did you have nuggets recently?
This week. That's what I'm telling you. It's emergency weight. Like, listen, it's just like I have a zit here on my chin. Like, what am I, 13? Like, it's been too much. So I had nuggets, but the tragic thing was they forgot the dipping sauce. All of them. So then I had to fully chopped kitchen my own sauces.
Yep.
I made my own honey mustard, no problem, which was actually better because it was like grainy mustard with honey.
Yeah, which is super good. You even put like a touch of like a cayenne pepper sauce in that, spicy.
Well, here's the thing that I've realized: I don't have condiments in my house.
Living that nug life, as you want to put it.
I'm so bummed I can't see the chat anymore because my computer. That's so funny.
People are all about the nugs. Shayla's all about emergency nugs. Everyone's about loving the Wendy's nugs.
Everyone's loving the Wendy's nugs. Damn, I got to get in here.
What it do? Mahalo.
Mahalo. Oh, I can hear myself.
I do want to be there the one time, like one of the Wendy's employees is like, "Weren't you here already today?" We already.
Excuse me.
Free nugs.
I believe we've got some free nugs.
And this guy's like, I mean, for a week. That means this guy's going home, hopefully putting them in Ziploc bags and putting them in the freezer and not just eating them a week later.
Elizabeth, I like Elizabeth's just saying nugged up. I had a friend who like said that they would get like a bunch of Subway subs, like that we get the cheap sub of the day or whatever, but buy 5 at a time and eat for a week. And I was like, but why wouldn't you just go every day? Like, who's like seeing if a Subway sandwich holds up? Like that's done that day. Like when people were like I was all about when I was really broke. I was all about as you know, I was obsessed with Subway. I since haven't had it. I had to cut it off. I haven't had it in years. I can't eat it. But
what were you? You were the cold cut combo, right?
Yeah, we had a whole sketch about my life at Subway.
Reaching for the salams.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite sketches Jason and I ever did. And it came from a real story of going to Subway so much. And then one day, the Subway sandwiches man asked me what my name was and tried to be my friend. Like I was like, I cannot be on a name, like on a first name basis with the guy who makes my subs.
That was a great sketch. That was when you're like, what if I choked on it and die? You'd be the last person I talk to. Well, maybe you should give me your emergency contact information.
Yeah, you want me to be your emergency contact? No, I don't want that. But I when people would eat like a foot long.
Sheldon says reaching for the salams all the time. That's
nice. I'm so bummed I can't be in this chat. Yeah, it was a very.
How did you know Elizabeth said nugged up?
Yeah, because I have it on my phone, but
I see.
yeah. Yeah, I gotta turn it off. Okay. But anyways, yeah. So, but when people would like eat half a sub and then be like, I gotta put the rest in the fridge, I was like, that's not gonna hold up. Like that's gonna become a soggy mess. You maybe have 20 minutes.
Yeah, there's no. Like buying a 12-inch because you only eat 6-inch is a mistake. Just go back.
If you think you can, if you don't think you can like eat the 12, don't buy the foot long for later. Just don't. It's not going to be good in the fridge. You're going to eat it because you don't want to say that you've wasted money, and you're not going to have a good time. You're just not.
Yeah.
I can't. It's the same with I once had a friend who would only eat half a chocolate bar and she'd put it in the fridge and be like, I'll eat this later. And I was like, was now later? Like, what are you doing here? I don't quite understand.
Yeah, a chocolate bar is like you buy it to eat it.
You buy it to eat it in one sitting.
Yeah.
Like when people go, when I see like people
like
who have
that,
what?
I was gonna say the Kit Kat is like 4 separate bars. Doesn't mean anything because you're gonna eat all 4. No one just eats one of the bars. And
Listen,
then like,
I'm really bummed that we've hit this topic of conversation because you know that you and I are so passionate about that. That's
true.
When you go into like someone's freezer and they have like Ben and Jerry's, like the little tubs, and I'm like,
that's a serving size.
Exactly. And when they have like scoops taken out, like they make little bowls. I'm like,
yeah,
I gotta go. Like this isn't gonna work. This friendship.
You know why this is hilarious? My wife bought one of those things for herself the other night, and I was like, she's like, it's lighter, and look at the calories. I was like, you eat this, it's still 360 calories. She goes, that's for the whole bin. I was like, yeah.
Oh, Halo Top.
Is it Halo Top? Is that what it is?
It's like the really like no calorie blah blah blah.
Maybe. But I was still like, it's still 360 calories. And she's like, that's only if you eat the whole bin. I'm like, the bin is the size of a shot glass. Like, you're going to eat the whole thing.
Well, Halo Top is like low-cal ice cream that's made for you to eat the whole tub.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like this one wasn't. So maybe it's not Halo Top. But I mean, you and I would for sure eat the whole tub of this.
Of course. I don't get serving sizes.
Peanut butter crunch or something like that. But I was like, all right.
Well, friends, we've sort of hit the end of the pod. Jason's getting texts. I wonder if it's, Hollywood calling, saying the role of a lifetime is awaiting.
Do you know who it is, actually? It's Nigel Downer.
Oh.
And he's not texting me. We have a bit of a conversation going about Last Dance. Tomorrow, we're getting ready.
I am too. I got a lot of questions.
Getting ready.
Okay, friends. Well, here's the thing. Thank you so much for being in the chat. We adore you all. If you had a good time, give us a like. I know some people have already have already ticked the old like button. That means so much. And if you're listening to this, guess what? And we hear this every time. We go live weekdays, 12:30 Eastern Time, PM, 12:30 PM Eastern Time. There we go. I got it. And you can subscribe at youtube.com/theregulars. We finally have a URL that's really simple. And so you can tell your friends and you can also subscribe. And thanks to those who are joining us for the first time, welcome to the chat. And to those who have been there forever and always, we adore you. Jason, is there anything else you want to say?
This week is full of guests. We got Nigel tomorrow for Last Dance, and then we've got Adam going to talk to us about being healthy on Thursday, and then of course,
well, he's going to try and teach us how to be healthy, and we might destroy Adam. This is our thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
A casual Friday, we'll all be on the same vibe.
Oh my God, I do have a new robe that is ordered. We shall see. We shall see. She won't arrive. But yeah, we have like the back half of this week is like chocked full of guests. So make sure to come and watch and enjoy. And anything else? We'll see you all next
Everybody
week.
Stay safe. Have fun. Taco Tuesday. Make a taco today.
Wow. Okay. You heard it here first, friends. We'll see you all tomorrow at 12:30. Bye.
Bye.